Lifestyle creep is a real thing. We all want the nicest phone, the nicest cars, and we end up sometimes getting really nice things just to keep up with the Joneses. And then when we look around, we look at our nice car and our nice house and our nice phones and all of that, and then we look at how much that is costing us each month. We really do have to think about, is it all worth it? If I downgraded and I got not such a nice phone and not such a nice car, would I have a better life because I'm able to do more with my family and buy the things that I really want in life? That's what we're going to be taking a look at in today's Budget Bestie. Hi guys, gals and all my guys, welcome to Budget with Ira. My name is Ira and on this channel we talk about budgeting, paying down debt and saving up for the life that you truly deserve. If that sounds like something you like to watch, please consider subscribing to the channel because we do have a lot of fun over here, bestie. We really do. In today's video, we're continuing my series called Budget Bestie. Budget Besties is a series where people anonymously submit their budgets to me. I take a look at them and see what I might do if I was in their situation. This is not financial advice. However, sometimes I can impart some wisdom and sometimes it's really useful. The real wisdom comes from the comment section down below. So if you've got an idea about how you might do this differently, or you think the way I've approached it is silly and you might do it a different way, please let me know because it is not only useful to me, it is useful to everybody reading the comments. So please make your voice heard. So this week's one is a bit interesting. So it is probably a good time to get budgeting bestie. So let's take a look at this. So their main financial goal is to own a home, right? And their issue is spending when they don't necessarily have the money. So when we look at their outgoings, they've got like normal outgoings, like their rent is okay, it's $8.50, there's all of that. But when we look at it, they've got two very expensive phone subscriptions. They pay a lot per month for their cars. There's a lot, and then they don't necessarily have like very good like savings like goals. When I ask for any more information, they say there are 2 children, 2 adults, and one of the children is with them 50% of the time, which would make a difference on groceries. We do budget towards lots of other things, but we always dip into things for our kids or essentials. We budget £30 a month for Christmas, but we don't budget spending or anything. Help. And I think they might need help if they're not budgeting for spending. When you don't budget for small things like spending, it can completely derail your budget. Because if it is no holds barred, what is stopping you from getting a takeaway every night if there's nothing stopping you? So this is one of those scenarios where it truly does mean a lot when you've got a budget and then you realize after all of your minimums, all of that, you've got like over £1,000 available, but you have no idea where that money went because it's no holds bars. You can spend what you want, and that's not really what a budget is. So I think it's time to give this person a bit of structure, really get to grips with their money and see what they're spending their money on and make a plan for the future. So bestie, I think it's time to get budgeting. Okay, let's get into this, bestie. Today we are using the Paycheck Bill Tracker pad, which is a wonderful pad. Comes with 25 budgets on it, so that if you're making a lot of mistake or your circumstances changing at a rapid pace, you can make a budget, and if it doesn't work out, tear it off and start again. Really good for beginner budgeters or people who have a lot of influx with their budget. Anyway, we need to get cracking and have a look at this bestie budget. So starting off with income, there's 3 streams of income. So first off, we've got income 1, which is one of the people. It's 1950, and then we've got income 2, and that's 1300. Then we have child benefit. So child benefit, I'm just gonna put Ben, and that comes up to 96, which gives them 3346. Now, as you know, the next thing I need to do is go ahead and list all of the bills. They do exceed this bills bit here, but it's okay, we'll move on. So just gonna do that really fast, and then I'll talk about that with you later on. okay, that's all the bills listed. I've managed to cram it all. I've crammed it in, which you wouldn't normally do. You normally go for something bigger, but yeah. Here's their bills. They come up to 1476.28. We've got a lot to talk about in there, but when we move over to the rest of the budget, you'll start to see the picture of what's going on. So it's 1476.28 it comes up to, which leaves them with 1869.72. So we're spending nearly half of everything that we get on bills, and a lot of these are avoidable. So they didn't list any envelopes whatsoever. So at the moment we're at 0 for envelopes, and envelopes I'd normally say are groceries, fuel, spending, things like that. So at the moment we've not listed any. We know there's going to be some in there. So if we're left over with like a lot of money at the end, we know where it's going basically. But anyway, we're still at 1869.72. So moving up to thinking about, so they say Christmas, I can't write and talk at the same time. So Christmas they put away £30 a month to, and then saving up for a house, which they say is their main goal, they put away £100 a month to. So that's what they say they do. That comes up to 130, which leaves them with 1,739.72. So debt, there is some debt. So I'm listing car 1 and car 2 as a debt, but we're not going to include them into the debt repayment plan just because I think there's stuff that we need to do. So anyway, the first car costs £236.39 per month, and the second car is £169 per month. So we're looking at close to, well, yeah, over £400 a month just to rent 2 cars, which is wild. But I used to be in exactly the same situation. My car was £169 a month and Jake's was £250 a month. So I used to be exactly here. And one of the first things we changed when we got really serious about it is we downgraded our cars, because that's excessive. And yeah, anyway, credit card 1 is minimum of $9.98 a month. We're just paying the minimum on that. And credit card 2 is $7.56 a month. Okay, so our minimums for debt is $422.93, which leaves us with $1,316.79. So that's our buffer, but it's not our true buffer, is it? Because we haven't got the detail of grocery shopping, we haven't got the any fuel, any spending or anything like that. So let's really take a look at this. So I think I know what the issue is, because I feel like, let me get an orange pen. So I think I know what the issue is. So I feel like this is another person who's kind of living a little bit beyond their means, even though they probably could afford these, because they have debt and they have these aspirations and they keep on spending the money that they've saved, and they're finding that they don't know what's happening with this 1,300 odd pounds at the end of the month. I think obviously a lot of it goes on spending. I think it goes on takeaway. I think it goes on groceries. I think it goes in a lot of places. But there's a couple of things that I want to highlight. So first of all, we've got really expensive cars. So we're caring a lot about how we look to other people. We've got really expensive car insurance because of that. And then we've also got, if we look here, £51.8 for one phone and £59.56. So we're paying over £110 a month to rent phones because we've got the latest ones. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's more about having like the latest gadgets and stuff like that. And I just don't think that's really conducive to saving up for a house. Now, they do have a nice salary. They, should be able to afford whatever they want. But if they really want to get serious about going for this house, then they need to consider that. So what I'd be looking to do is downgrade both phones, and I'd be looking to downgrade the cars as well. that's what I would do in this situation, but you know, there's different people. We've also got here, we've got loads of subscriptions. So we've got Apple Music, we've got Xbox, we've got Netflix, we've got Prime. I would just say, just pick one, just have one. And you know how, the reason why we have lots of different subscriptions, right, is because we watch everything on Netflix, we get bored of it, so we move over to Prime. And then we watch everything on there, so then we move over to Disney Plus. But what we could do is watch everything on Netflix for the month, cancel our plan, start up a new one. So we're only ever paying for one at a time. That way we can exhaust everything, watch everything we want to watch, and then not pay for all four at the same time. Because, you know, I guarantee you, once you've like exhausted, watched everything you want on Netflix, you're not really going to look at it for a while, especially when you got something else to watch. So that's probably the tactic that I would use. But yeah, so I'm not going to like encourage them to make any more money or anything like that, and I'm not going to take any money away from their bills either, because their bills are their bills. Like, you have the lifestyle that you want. I'm just sharing what I might do. So I would definitely look at just having one at a time of those. It's gonna take like 40 or 50 quid off your monthly bills, and then I would definitely look at downgrading my phones and my cars. But yeah, that's just me. But anyway, I'm gonna make a couple of assumptions. So based on the size of your family, I would say that groceries is very reasonable. Groceries is very reasonably done at £500. So I'd say £125 a week for a 4 to 5 household family with needs like vegetarianism or gluten-free or whatever. I think that's completely achievable based off of what I know. Fuel for 2 cars, I'm just gonna say £320. It might not be that much, it might not be that much at all, but I based it off of £40 per week per car. So that's what I've gone for. I don't know. Okay, if it can be done for less, fantastic. You got more for debt, you got more for home as well. So yeah, that's what I would do. And then I would go for spending and try and budget yourself with spending. So spending, I've gone £240, which is £30 per week per adult. Okay, and that's where I'd be. That comes up to 1,060, and I think that's a really realistic for envelopes, and leaves you with £809. So I know it looks worse off, but we're being a bit more realistic now. So moving over to sinking funds, I think based on the size of your family, you're going to struggle to have a great Christmas based off of that. And what you might do is find yourself closer to time actually putting stuff on credit cards and things like that. So to preempt that, I'd up it to 60, and I'd also account for birthdays. So there's 4 of you in the house, so I would do £40 per month, so tenner each, and then you've all got £120 for each birthday. That comes up to 200, which leaves you with £609. So in terms of debt, as I said, we're not going to look at car 1 or car 2. We're just going to look at eliminating these credit cards. So I've kept the house savings the way it is, because it's just going to take... The reason why I say always get rid of your debt first before you focus on any big goals is because you are just going to find it tougher. So let's say, for instance, you're chucking, you know, just your minimums at your debt and then going aggressively for this house. In order to appear like more financially responsible in order to get a mortgage, they're going to want to see that you've got no debt or very, very low debt. So you're going to have to clear it eventually. So why not clear it now rather than further down the line when you've paid all of this out in interest? Do you know what I mean? So anyway, so we're going to look at these 2 minimums, and then we're going to do an overpayment of £177.07, which makes your total to debt amount £600, which leaves you with £9. That's the smallest buffer that I've given a lot of people, but I feel like there is so much wiggle room in here. If you wanted to have a better buffer, I would start looking at where you can make reductions. Also, that life insurance is very high. 21.39 is quite high, bestie. But let's take this off, tear this off, And let's work out this debt plan on the back. So the reason why we're doing a debt plan is to be just to get rid of it, get it out the way so that we can focus on our home. So we've got two things to look at. So we're going to do it snowball wise. So we've got credit card number 2 first, and the amount we owe on that is 256.67, and then credit card number 1, and we owe 487 on that. So our minimum for credit card number 2 is £7.56. When we add the £177.07 that we are going to do our overpayment are, that means we've got a snowball of 184.63, which means that it is gone in about 2 months. Well, 2 months, and then what we have is 122.59 left over. Yeah, so when we move that that 184.63 to the minimum for this, which is £9.98, that gives us a new snowball of 194.61. And then when we add that to the first month of it, it means that this is also gone in 2 months. So this is debt free in 4 months. So you've got a choice, right? Do you aggressively go for this house and try to save it up and pay all this amount in interest? And how long is it going to take you to pay off all of this credit card for 256.67 when you're only paying a tenner at a time? It's going to be years. You could completely eliminate all of your debt in 4 months based off of that plan. So to me, it's a no-brainer. Then what do you do after that? So basically you're going to have like about £200 extra available because you're still paying for the cars. Hopefully by then you've downgraded them, but you're going to have an extra £200 once you've cleared your debt. So then this 100 turns into 300. Yeah, so let's say for instance you are under 40 and you haven't bought a house before, and then you're going to do the help to buy with the government if you are from the UK, and you're going to get a LISA. So if you put £100 in, which is what your current plan is, for 12 months, that gives you 1,200. Yeah, but if you put £300 in after you've paid off your debt in 4 months time, times 12, then that becomes 3,600. When you add in the 25% that the government will give you if you put this into a LISA, then that becomes 4,500. So what is your plan going to be? Are you going to pay minimums on your debt, have expensive cars, have expensive phones, not budget for your groceries, your fuel and your spending, and save up 1,200 in a year and struggle? Or be in control of your money, save £300 after you've cleared your debt, have a weight lifted on your shoulders, and turn that into 4,500. Now, the things that I would do is immediately make hundreds of pounds of savings in car, make about £100 savings from my phone, and add that in and get this house for yourself, bestie, because you deserve it. Sometimes we have a budget based off of our lifestyle. It's something that we've always done and we've never really thought about it. We have loads of subscriptions, but every time we pay that Netflix bill and we haven't watched any shows on Netflix all month, we are moving ourselves one step further away from our dreams. So if we truly have a dream of a house and we want to get it done, make the cuts. Do what you need to do. Don't deprive yourself. Understand that you need to have spending money. You need to have nice groceries. You do want one subscription service, but if we're serious about what we want to do, let's just cut the fat out the way and make it happen, bestie. Hi guys, I'm Non-Binary Mouse. Thank you so much for getting through to the end of the video. You know I love it when you get through to the end of the video. Please give this video some love. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you are going to comment, please use this emoji. What would you do in this scenario? I mean, I've made a mess of this budget, right? But I think this is good. I mean, what would you do? The comment section, I really look forward to what people have to say in the comments for these Budget Bestie videos, because there's just so many different approaches to doing this, and I'm not always right. It's so good. And thank you for getting through to the end of the video, but an extra special thank you to the channel members and the patrons who make all of this possible. I truly mean it when I say, without you, I would not be here. Patrons get exclusive content, sneak peeks, and significant money off my Etsy store. So if you would like to join them and support me over on Patreon, please take a look at the link in the description. You will not regret it, bestie. That's all we have for this week's budget, bestie. And until the next one, I would like you to have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, and have a wonderful budget. Always remember, don't trust Ira. And bestie, I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for being here. Have a good day. Bye-bye.